6 silent warning signs. You're being betrayed at work without even knowing it. Welcome to Live Stoic. Live strong. Betrayal in the workplace doesn't strike like a thunderbolt from a clear sky. It creeps like a shadow, silent and insidious, weaving its way through the cracks of trust, poisoning relationships before you even sense the danger. Have you ever felt a chill in a colleague's once warm smile, a fleeting glance that cut deeper than words, leaving you questioning their loyalty? What if the allies you've trusted for years, the ones you've shared victories and vulnerabilities with, are quietly sharpening their blades, waiting for the perfect moment to turn against you? Or perhaps you're already sifting through the wreckage of their deceit, piecing together the clues you overlooked, wondering how you missed the signs that were there all along, whispering warnings you didn't heed. In this video, we'll unveil 6 unmistakable warning signs of workplace betrayal. Signals so subtle yet so potent that ignoring them could unravel your career, erode your peace, or shatter your dignity. Stay with us to arm yourself with the timeless wisdom of the Stoics, transforming treachery into a crucible that forges your strength. You'll learn to pierce through the masks of disloyalty, safeguard your integrity, and rise above every challenge, not just unscathed, but unbreakable. If you're ready to turn betrayal into a lesson of resilience, comment, "I am Stoic" below, and share this with someone who needs to see through the shadows. The ancient Stoics, Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, understood that betrayal is an inevitable thread in the tapestry of human nature, as certain as the rising sun or the turning tides. Yet they also knew that suffering from it is a choice we can reject with discipline and clarity. By training their minds to detect the faint tremors of disloyalty, they transformed betrayal from a destroyer into a teacher, a guide to wisdom, resilience, and unshakable strength. Today, we'll walk their path, diving deep into 6 warning signs that will not only shield you from the venom of deceit, but also forge you into someone who cannot be broken. Each sign is a lesson, each lesson a step toward vigilance, emotional mastery, and a life grounded in purpose. Let's embark on this journey, armed with the wisdom of those who faced betrayal and emerged not just stronger, but invincible in spirit. ###. 1. The sudden shift in behavior. Seneca once wrote, "A sword never kills anyone. It is a tool in the killer's hand." Betrayal, too, is a tool, wielded with deliberate intent, its edge honed long before it strikes. The first and most telling sign is a sudden, inexplicable shift in behavior, a change so subtle it's easy to dismiss, yet so profound it signals danger. Picture a colleague who once greeted you with genuine warmth, their laughter a familiar comfort, their presence a cornerstone of your workday. Their conversations were filled with shared ideas, mutual respect, and the easy camaraderie of a trusted ally. Then, almost overnight, that warmth fades into something distant, something calculated. Their smiles turn brittle, their glances cold and fleeting, their once open demeanor now guarded, as if a wall has risen between you. Conversations that flowed with ease become stilted, awkward, almost rehearsed. Their words are chosen with precision, their laughter forced, their movements subtly orchestrated, like actors playing a role they no longer believe in. These are not random quirks or fleeting moods. They are the early ripples of disloyalty taking root, warning signs of a heart turning away from trust. This shift often stems from a deeper weakness, a lack of moral courage to confront dissatisfaction, ambition, or envy openly. Instead of addressing their grievances, the betrayer withdraws, creating distance with purpose. They're not merely stepping back, They're repositioning, aligning themselves with others whose motives oppose yours. Perhaps they seek favor with a rival, resent your influence, or covet your success. Whatever the cause, their retreat is deliberate, a quiet maneuver to gain an advantage, while hoping their subtlety escapes your notice. They distance themselves not out of indifference but with intent, preparing the ground for a betrayal they believe you won't see coming. Their actions betray their heart long before their words do, and the Stoics' task is to see these signs clearly. As Stoics, we reject paranoia but embrace clarity, training ourselves to observe these changes with unflinching honesty, to confront the truth even when it stings. Seneca urges us to watch how others treat us when our influence seems to wane, when our utility appears diminished, when we're no longer the shining star in their orbit. Genuine respect endures through shifting fortunes. False loyalty crumbles the moment your immediate value fades. A colleague who once sought your counsel but now avoids your gaze. A teammate who sidesteps your questions with vague deflections. A manager who once valued your input but now dismisses it with a wave. These are not mere quirks but warnings, red flags signaling a breach in trust that demands your attention. When you detect this shift, don't dismiss it as trivial, or convince yourself it's your imagination. Silence invites further deception, allowing the betrayer to believe their subtlety has gone unnoticed, emboldening them to act further. Instead, confront the change with calm, measured directness, a hallmark of Stoic wisdom. Address the behavior without aggression, naming what you've observed, and setting clear boundaries to protect your peace. A simple, "I've noticed you've been more reserved lately. Is there something we need to discuss?" can expose their intentions, force them to reconsider their approach, or reveal the truth they hope to conceal. This approach disarms their secrecy, placing the burden of explanation on them while preserving your dignity. Seneca reminds us that betrayal may wound deeply, but only we decide whether it shatters us or strengthens our resolve. Each encounter with disloyalty is a forge, tempering your spirit and sharpening your instincts. Betrayal, in the Stoics' hands, becomes a teacher of vigilance, wisdom, and resilience. It trains you to trust your observations, to value authenticity over superficial charm, and to stand firm in your principles, even when the ground beneath you shifts. By recognizing these early shifts in behavior, you protect your dignity, prepare for the challenges ahead, and cultivate a mind that cannot be swayed by deceit. You emerge not as a victim of treachery, but as a warrior of clarity, forged in the fires of human imperfection, ready to face whatever comes next with unwavering strength. #2. Information slips through your fingers. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." To react wisely, you must first see the silent battles unfolding in the shadows of your workplace, where trust is tested and loyalties are revealed. One of the most glaring signs of betrayal is when information, once shared openly and freely, begins to vanish or change hands without your knowledge. Picture a confidential discussion you held in trust, a strategy or idea shared behind closed doors with someone you believed was an ally, someone you thought shared your vision. Days later, you hear its echoes in the office, distorted, repurposed, or weaponized against you. Critical updates bypass you, leaving you blindsided in meetings, scrambling to catch up. Emails you should have been copied on never arrive, and decisions that affect your work, your team, or your future are made without your input. These are not oversights or innocent mistakes. They are deliberate acts of betrayal, signals that disloyalty is already in motion, eroding the trust you thought was secure. Every workplace harbors those who trade loyalty for personal gain. Individuals who see information as currency, to barter for power, favor, or advancement. They thrive in ambiguity, collecting fragments of sensitive details, your ideas, your plans, your vulnerabilities, to wield as weapons when the moment is right. Your words, shared in confidence, become their ammunition, twisted to shift alliances, undermine your position, or elevate their own standing. They wait patiently, gathering scraps of knowledge, knowing that information is power, and that power can be stolen. Epictetus urges us to guard our words as fiercely as we protect our most valued possessions, for every secret you entrust, every detail you disclose, carries inherent risk. What you share in private today could be a dagger in their hands tomorrow, aimed at your back, ready to strike when you're most vulnerable. To counter this, practice strategic silence, a discipline rooted in Stoic wisdom that balances openness with caution. Speak less, but listen with intent, attuning yourself to the rhythms of communication around you. Observe who has access to what, who benefits from your confidences, who leverages your ideas for their own gain. Notice the colleague who suddenly knows details they shouldn't, the teammate who presents your strategy as their own, or the manager who credits your work to someone else. These are not coincidences, but clues, pointing to a breach of trust that demands your attention. Clarity in these observations strengthens your position, allowing you to anticipate threats, neutralize risks, and protect your interests before betrayal fully materializes. Keep a mental ledger of who handles information and how, noting patterns that reveal hidden agendas. When betrayal surfaces, resist the temptation to react with anger, frustration, or outrage. It only amplifies the damage and gives the betrayer the emotional payoff they seek, feeding their sense of control. Instead, respond with detached wisdom, a hallmark of Stoic resilience that turns adversity into opportunity. Confront the breach with calm precision, articulating the violation without sinking to their level. A measured, "I noticed this information was shared without my knowledge. Can you clarify how that happened?" denies them the chaos they crave and reasserts your control. This approach forces them to account for their actions while preserving your composure, signaling that you are neither naive nor easily shaken. Epictetus teaches us to view such moments as opportunities to demonstrate our inner strength, to show that we are unmoved by deceit and grounded in clarity. Your response sets the tone for future interactions, establishing you as someone who sees through deception and responds with power. Beyond vigilance, cultivate resilience through disciplined detachment, a Stoic practice that frees you from the weight of betrayal. Accept that betrayal is an inevitable product of human ambition, insecurity, and weakness, not a reflection of your worth or character. Each instance is a chance to grow wiser, to refine your discernment, and to master emotional control. Use it to sharpen your ability to navigate complex dynamics, to choose your confidants with care, and to protect your peace in a world where trust is fragile. By guarding your words, observing with clarity, and responding with wisdom, you transform betrayal into a stepping stone toward unshakable strength, ensuring that no act of disloyalty can derail your path or dim your light. You become a beacon of resilience, untouchable by the treachery that surrounds you. #3. The seduction of flattery. Marcus Aurelius warned, "You can tell the character of a man by the way he speaks about others in their absence." Flattery, though sweet to the ear, is often a venomous trap, cloaking betrayal in a guise of admiration that's as alluring as it is dangerous. It's intoxicating, lifting you on a wave of validation that drowns out doubt and fills you with a fleeting sense of exceptional worth, soothing the insecurities we all carry. But Stoicism teaches caution, urging us to see through the honeyed words to the motives beneath. A colleague who showers you with praise, applauding every decision, celebrating every win, agreeing with every word, may not be your ally. Beneath their polished compliments lies a hidden agenda, a calculated effort to lull you into complacency, lower your guard, and make you vulnerable to manipulation, like a spider weaving a web around its prey. Flattery is rarely born of genuine respect. Those who wield it seek control, exploiting your need for approval to bend you to their will. Consider the teammate who seems perpetually agreeable, their enthusiasm almost too perfect, their compliments too polished to be spontaneous. On the surface, they appear supportive, a beacon of positivity in a competitive workplace, always ready with a kind word or an effusive compliment. But Stoicism urges us to look deeper, to question the intent behind their words. True respect manifests in actions, loyalty in moments of crisis, honesty when it's difficult to deliver, support when the stakes are high and the cost is real. Flattery, by contrast, is effortless and empty, a currency spent without cost, designed to disarm rather than uplift. When you rely on it, you surrender your autonomy, handing power to those who prey on your insecurities and desire for recognition, leaving you exposed to their schemes. Thank you for staying with Live Stoic, Live Strong. It means you're seeking more than words. We're here for that journey with you. The Stoic mind, clear and rational, sees through flattery's allure, cutting through its charm with the precision of a blade. We root our worth in our virtues, our integrity, our courage, our commitment to truth, not in the fleeting applause of others. By understanding our strengths and acknowledging our limitations, we become immune to the manipulative power of false praise. Watch for the warning signs: exaggerated admiration that feels disproportionate, unwavering agreement that defies reason, enthusiasm that seems rehearsed or out of place. These are not tributes to your value, but signals of a hidden motive. A colleague who praises you publicly but undermines you privately, or one whose flattery spikes just before they ask for a favor or shift blame, is not your friend. They're a strategist, playing a long game to control the board, using your ego as their pawn. To protect yourself, anchor your self-worth in your principles, seeking validation through your growth, your actions, and your adherence to truth, not through the ephemeral words of others. When flattery comes, measure it against deeds. Does this person stand by you when it counts, or do their compliments ring hollow when loyalty is tested? Do their actions align with their words, or do their praises serve only to mask their true intentions? Marcus Aurelius reminds us to stay grounded, unmoved by superficial charm or inflated praise. Cultivate discernment, recognizing that true admiration often comes quietly, expressed through consistent support, meaningful gestures, and unwavering loyalty, rather than loud proclamations or extravagant words. True allies don't need to shout your praises. They prove their respect through their steadfast presence. By rejecting flattery's seduction, you shield yourself from manipulation and walk a path of clarity, strength, and dignity. Be wary of those whose praise is loudest and most frequent. They often have the most to hide, their words a smokescreen for their true intentions. Let your confidence rest in your stoic resolve, in the unshakable knowledge of who you are and what you stand for. In doing so, you remain unmoved by deceit, vigilant yet calm, and forever grounded in your own worth. True respect is earned through actions, not words. and the Stoic seeks only the validation that comes from living a life of virtue, purpose, and unyielding integrity. ###4. Loyalty crumbles under pressure, Seneca declared. Loyalty is the fabric that holds all things together. Without it, all that remains is chaos. Loyalty is not merely a virtue. It's the cornerstone of trust, the silent force that binds relationships, teams, and organizations, ensuring stability in a turbulent world where alliances are tested daily. But loyalty is rarely proven in moments of ease or comfort, when the sun shines and the path is clear. Its true measure emerges in the crucible of crisis, when tensions soar, conflicts erupt, and the pressure reveals character in its rawest form. When challenges arise, deadlines tighten, rivalries flare, or stakes climb, watch closely, for the clearest sign of betrayal is hesitation. A colleague who pauses, averts their gaze, or vanishes when you need them most, has already made their choice, opting for convenience, self-interest, or safety over conviction and principle, abandoning you in your hour of need. True loyalty shines brightest in adversity, a beacon of integrity in the darkest storms. It's the teammate who defends your honor in your absence, risking their own standing to uphold what's right, even when you can't offer gratitude or reward. It's the ally who stays by your side when others turn away, unwavering even as the tide of opinion shifts against you, their commitment a testament to their character. This loyalty doesn't seek applause or recognition. It acts quietly, driven by a deep commitment to integrity and a steadfast belief in standing firm, no matter the cost. But loyalty is fragile, vulnerable to the slow erosion of doubt, temptation, and opportunism. When betrayal takes root, it fractures this bond first, unraveling with alarming speed. The facade of allegiance, built on empty promises, superficial smiles, and hollow words, collapses, revealing the void beneath, exposing the truth of their priorities. To navigate this, demand proof of loyalty through actions, not declarations. Words of fidelity are meaningless without deeds to back them, like a house built on sand that crumbles under the first storm. The colleague who pledges support but disappears during a crisis, the manager who promises allegiance but aligns with your rivals when pressure mounts, the teammate who offers verbal loyalty but fails to act when it matters. These are not loyal. They're opportunistic, waiting for a better offer or a safer path, their words a mask for their true intentions. True loyalty is proactive, anticipating challenges and standing ready to meet them head-on. It doesn't wait passively for direction, it engages, affirming its presence through courage, commitment, and decisive action, proving itself in the moments that matter most. Build your circle wisely, surrounding yourself with those whose loyalty has been tested in the fires of hardship, forged through shared struggles and mutual respect. Cultivate relationships rooted in shared values, where trust is earned through consistent actions rather than fleeting promises. But remain vigilant, knowing that even the strongest bonds can falter if unguarded, eroded by the pressures of ambition or fear. When loyalty fails, act decisively. Strengthen your boundaries, reassess your alliances, and reaffirm your inner resolve. Seneca's wisdom guides us. Loyalty stabilizes, disloyalty destabilizes. By prioritizing actions over words, you preserve your integrity, safeguard your relationships, and maintain the order that keeps chaos at bay. In a world where loyalty is tested daily, remain discerning, resilient, and above all, unbreakable, knowing that true loyalty is the foundation of trust. and the antidote to the chaos of betrayal. #5. The spread of secrecy. Marcus Aurelius observed, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears." Secrecy, when allowed to fester, is a slow poison that unravels trust, divides teams, and erodes the foundation of any relationship or organization, leaving only suspicion in its wake. When closed-door meetings multiply, whispers replace open dialogue, and information becomes a privilege rather than a right, betrayal is already at work, weaving its web in the shadows. Picture the scene. Discussions you're inexplicably excluded from, decisions made without your input, critical information trickling down selectively or not at all, leaving you in the dark about matters that affect your work and future. These are not mere oversights. They're deliberate veils, concealing agendas that thrive in darkness, shielded from scrutiny and accountability, designed to keep you powerless. Stoicism demands clarity, a relentless commitment to truth that cuts through the shadows of deceit like a beacon in the night. Deception flourishes only when truth is obscured, when transparency is sacrificed for convenience, fear, or ambition. Those who plot against you rarely operate in the open. They hide behind carefully constructed walls of silence, weaving their plans in quiet corners where scrutiny cannot reach. This secrecy is betrayal's greatest ally, amplifying its power to harm by shielding it from exposure. The Stoics, with their unwavering dedication to reason and honesty, teach us to recognize this danger and confront it head-on, refusing to let shadows become the norm, refusing to let deceit take root unchallenged. The antidote to secrecy is transparency, a courageous commitment to openness that exposes hidden motives before they can strike, illuminating the darkness with the light of truth. Transparency is not about eliminating conflict or disagreement. It's about facing challenges honestly, ensuring that decisions are made in the light, and that all voices are heard, valued, and respected. When secrecy creeps in, confront it with bold clarity, refusing to let it fester. Demand open dialogue. Insist on inclusive discussions, and reject backroom dealings as unacceptable. A simple, "Can we discuss this openly to ensure everyone's aligned?" can dismantle the walls of silence, force betrayers to face the light, and restore trust to the process. Transparency is the Stoics' most powerful tool, a virtue that strengthens unity, preserves integrity, and ensures that trust endures even in the face of adversity, binding teams together through honesty. In your workplace, foster environments where truth prevails, where openness is the default and secrecy the exception. Encourage candid communication, reject shadowy dealings, and lead by example, modeling openness in your actions and words, showing others the value of clarity. Transparency doesn't erase difficulties. It equips you to handle them constructively, with honesty and clarity, turning potential conflicts into opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius urges us to embrace reality, even its harshest truths, and to live without fear of what lies in the open. By banishing secrecy, you strip betrayal of its power to divide, safeguarding yourself and those around you from the insidious threats that lurk unseen. As a Stoic, illuminate your path with truth, and you'll navigate even the darkest challenges with purpose, resilience, and unshakable strength, knowing that betrayal loses its grip when shadows have no place to hide. #6. When your success breeds envy, Seneca declared, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more who is poor." Success, earned through diligence, perseverance, and sacrifice, often carries a hidden cost. The envy of others, a silent poison that festers in the hearts of those who cannot celebrate your achievements. Your accomplishments, promotions, breakthroughs, recognition aren't always met with genuine celebration. Instead, they can spark resentment among peers, a quiet venom that transforms colleagues you trusted into betrayers. It begins subtly. A sarcastic remark disguised as humor, a sidelong glance that lingers too long, an idea dismissed without cause or consideration. Over time, this resentment grows sinister, becoming a campaign of betrayal. They undermine your work, question your decisions, withhold critical information, or exclude you from opportunities. Meetings are scheduled without your knowledge, your contributions are overlooked, and your reputation is subtly chipped away, piece by piece. When envy replaces applause, betrayal is no longer a risk. It's a certainty, a reality you must face. Betrayal born of envy is not a single, dramatic blow, but a gradual erosion, a series of small, calculated acts designed to diminish your confidence, weaken your standing, and erode the foundation of your career. It's the colleague who credits your work to themselves, the teammate who criticizes your every move while smiling to your face, the manager who conveniently forgets to include you in key discussions, all while maintaining a facade of friendliness. These acts, though subtle, are tangible, each one a deliberate attempt to undermine your success and claim your achievements for their own, driven by their own insecurities and unfulfilled desires. But Stoicism offers a shield, a philosophy built to navigate such challenges without succumbing to despair, bitterness, or retaliation. The Stoic recognizes human nature without despair, accepting that envy is a product of others' insecurities, ambitions, and unfulfilled desires, not a reflection of our worth or value. We expect neither constant validation nor unwavering loyalty, knowing that human emotions are volatile, often irrational, and driven by personal agendas. To confront envy, we turn to the Stoic virtues: temperance, wisdom, courage, and justice. Practice temperance by moderating your expectations, understanding that not everyone will celebrate your success or share your enthusiasm, and that's okay. Use wisdom to discern genuine allies from those who secretly plot your downfall, observing their actions over their words, noting who stands by you and who falters. Show courage not through confrontation, but through persistence, continuing your work with calm competence despite adversity, refusing to let their resentment derail your focus. Uphold justice by treating even your detractors with fairness and integrity, refusing to mirror their tactics or sink to their level, maintaining your moral compass. Above all, endure. The hallmark of a Stoic is endurance, the quiet, unyielding strength to face betrayal without flinching, to rise above envy without bitterness, to continue forward without being swayed by the opinions of others. Your dignity and strength lie not in external acclaim, but in your unshakable inner resolve, a fortress that no amount of envy can breach. Envy, sabotage, and betrayal cannot harm you unless you grant them power, unless you allow them to dictate your worth or alter your path. Seneca's wisdom guides us. True wealth is found in contentment, in the inner strength that comes from living a life of virtue, not in the fleeting validation of others who may never be satisfied. By adopting this Stoic approach, you protect yourself from envy's corrosive influence, maintaining your path with unyielding clarity and purpose. Your success is yours, earned through your efforts, deserved through your dedication, and untouchable by those who seek to diminish it. Let their envy be their burden, not yours. Focus on what you control: your actions, your attitude, your response to adversity. Continue to strive, to create, to lead, knowing that no act of betrayal can dim the light of your achievements unless you allow it to. In the face of envy, stand tall, grounded in your principles, and let your work speak louder than their whispers. Your resilience will outshine their resentment, your integrity will outlast their schemes, and your strength will carry you forward, unbroken and unbowed. Conclusion. The Stoics' triumph over betrayal in the workplace, is not a random act. It's a pattern, a sequence of signals that, if ignored, will leave you blindsided and vulnerable, caught off guard in a storm you didn't see coming. But we are not blind. We see the shifts in behavior, the silences that speak volumes, the shadows where deceit hides. We prepare with vigilance, respond with wisdom, and endure with resilience, turning every challenge into a lesson that strengthens us. The Stoics' teachings guide us, not in fear, but in fortitude, not in suspicion, but in power. The world may betray us, but our minds remain untouchable, our spirits unbreakable. Stay vigilant, stay strong, and above all, stay true to the principles that define you: courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance. If this video has armed you with the clarity to navigate betrayal and emerge stronger, comment "I am Stoic" below and share it with someone who needs to see through the deception. Let's build a community of resilience, grounded in Stoic wisdom and united in strength, ready to face any challenge with clarity, purpose, and an unbreakable spirit. Thank you for your time. If one idea touched you today, come back next time. It may reach deeper. Share this with someone who needs a quiet moment. See you in the next video.